Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, we're live. It's Tuesday night. Welcome to another Wicked Horror Show. As always, I'm joined by Tony.
What is going on, people?
And Tony, would you like to introduce our very special guest?
Sure. Tonight we have Bianca Allaine, who is the writer and star of Zombinatrix. She's been in a whole bunch from IMDb, but tonight we are talking about Zombinatrix. How are you, Bianca?
I'm fine. I'm crazy as always.
That's okay.
I saw your little commercial there. I know those guys.
Oh, Deadly Grounds?
Yeah, they follow me around all the time.
Nice. Oh, you're talking about the zombies. Okay. I thought you were talking about Deadly Grounds because, they've been a sponsor of ours for like ever.
I don't know. Lots of people follow me around all the time, so who knows?
Yeah. So Zombinatrix is a project it looks like looking at your IMDb, it's been something that has been in the works for a while. You know,
don't get me started. Yes, it was originally a concept by my husband, Michael Kyne, back in 2015. I'll tell you this. But due to a lot, like anything you can possibly imagine and can't imagine, like a worldwide pandemic, has done everything in their power to stop our film from being made. But we were filming in 2019, and then we were going to take a short break and start right up in like February, I think, 2020. And then the pandemic hits and we're like, okay, well, we'll wait, it'll be over by Easter, that type of thing. Like everybody was thinking like, this is something that it's not going to last. Well, here we are. We've lost an entire year, almost 2 years, but we're going to go back to filming in October. We set aside all of October and most of November. Yeah. And we're going to finish it.
Nice. So yeah, I know, like, cause I pulled the basically like the Indiegogo trailer.
Yeah.
And you were stating there that you're like two-thirds of the way done with the movie at that time.
We're pretty close, but you know what? We have rewritten the script. That's the only thing, knock on wood, that I can say is pretty cool about having so much time to rework it, because it's better now. Like the script that we had before was kind of all over the place. But after having a year to just really think about it and rewrite it and rework it, it's a lot darker than it was before.
Nice.
And a lot gorier. And I think that people are going to be really excited because we kind of were making it sort of like an homage before, like to, horror comedy type films, like one of my favorite, Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. So we were like, fuck that,
The thing is, like, it's good to you can totally say whatever you want.
So we decided to just go ahead and just make it as dark and gritty as we wanted to. And I think that's what the fans really want anyway. So,
right. And again, that's the thing, is it's good to pay homage to what you love, but at the same time too, you don't want to just be that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we had even been talking with well, let me just say this. My character's name is Mistress Tawny. And that was an homage, like, first of all, rest in peace, Tawny Katane. I never had a chance to say that. I named my character after her, the Dominatrix character, even though she becomes Zombinatrix. She was actually the first person we talked to about being in the movie, like having a cameo, because I'm like such a big fan of hers. Yeah, that's a funny story. We actually went up to Bam Margera's house
Mm-hmm.
to talk to because he used, I don't know what he's doing now, but he used to live up, in PA. So like we went up there to go talk to him, and they were like, let's meet at Bam's house. So we went over there, and she had a bad back at the time or something, and she wanted a lot of money, like $50,000 a day or something.
Oh,
we're
geez.
like, oh, that's like would be our entire special effects budget. We love you, Tony, but how about this? I'll just name my character after you. And what?
All right, that was just cost you.
Like I feel bad now because she passed away, but still.
But still, I mean, you gotta understand. Like, it's unfortunate, but sometimes
it happens. We all gotta go someday.
Right, and then as far as like the money thing goes too, it's like what else is she really doing?
Yeah, she's famous. I mean, she's worked for a long time, and she's a video vamp, as I call them. Like, she's the most famous probably of that era. So
Yeah, I agree 100%. And then even still, like when you go to like conventions and stuff like that, like why would I buy an autograph from them? I'm like, because they're here for a reason. Like you get to meet them, and they probably need it. They may need it. Then maybe they're not.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of times, like your royalties. Here's the thing. I think when people get famous, they start blowing their money like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes on blow and sometimes on other stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that. I've known enough people who have, gotten a really big check. Well, those checks don't last forever. And plus technology has changed and everything else. So you just have to live within your means. It's just the smart way to do anyway, smart way to live. Anyway.
It's not even in movies or what.
Exactly.
In every walk of life, it's like if you didn't have money beforehand, and then all of a sudden you become, you get that, you don't know what to do with it. It's like everybody just I need a house, I need a car, I need this, I need that. Before you know it, before you know it, what could have been a huge chunk of money is now dwindled down to nothing. So
I think they say that a lot of, I don't want to say all, because there's no such thing as all or none, but I think they say the vast majority of lottery winners end up broke.
Oh yeah, I think there's a show.
They just don't know how to.
I think there's a show like based off of that, like because that's the thing is like I can tell you right now, like when I get first thing I think when I see like a tax return is like, I really need a new computer. But I'm like, no, I don't. So my wife keeps me grounded, But just real quick, I don't know if you saw it, but Stephen Gray had commented, this woman is so amazing. She's the real deal. She's so caring and so talented.
Oh, that's sweet. Hey, thanks, Stephen.
And then also Sergio, one of our regulars in the chat, wants to say hi. So hello, Sergio. And
Sergio.
Yeah, and if there's anyone in the room who has a question, like if you're a fan of Zombinatrix and of what's going on with this project, if you have any questions, definitely ask, and we can relay the questions for you. But so Tony, looks like you were going to ask a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so what kicked off this whole? You said it started in 2015. What kind of kicked it off? Because everybody, it's either because we've had so many people on here, especially people who are in love with the genre, that are like, after watching this, after doing this, that's where the the juices flowed, and we decided to make our own movie or something along those lines. Like, what kicked it off?
Well, my husband and I have both been working in the film business, I would say, I've been working in it for 20 years. Hi, David. And he's been working in it for 10 or 15 years. What is it now? I don't know. He's worked for the History Channel, the Smithsonian Channel. We've both worked for Discovery. We've both worked for ID. We've both worked on independent films. I worked for a lot of studio projects, both behind the scenes and on camera. I don't list every single thing I've ever done. I've done a lot of music videos and stuff like that. But after a long time, I wasn't really getting anything unique, or the roles I was getting. I got to the point where people still ask me to be in their movie. Like I don't really have to audition at this point, which is cool. I don't mind auditioning, but it's nice that people come to me and offer me roles, and it's just like, I don't like that role. I don't like that character. I've already done that 100 times. You know what I mean? So I think my husband was wanting to create something specifically for me, like a lead character that I could portray. So he said he was in the car, I think, coming home from work, and he was just sort of in the ether or thinking about things, and he was trying to come up. We do a little comedy sketch thing that not a lot of people watch, but it's fun, called Watch These Films, with me, Bianca Allaine. He used to be Barnett, but now it's Allaine. And he was trying to think, like, well, our most popular one was the version I did of Frankenhooker. So he was kind of trying to think, like, let's see, what's popular, like zombies, and then he said the two most popular things at the time that everybody seemed to be talking about was like 50 Shades of Grey and The Walking Dead. So I've never even seen The Walking Dead. I think I tried to watch episode 1 and I didn't finish it after that. But not because I didn't like it, it's just too long. Yeah. And so he combined those two and made Zombinatrix, because he likes Dominatrixes anyway, and I've got that. I'm tall and I don't know. I don't want to say aggressive, but I kind of have the personality anyway. And people kept wanting to either put me in movies as like this damsel in distress and everything, which I can play, but it's not as fun.
Right.
I don't want to get murdered another time. Like, let me, effing.
Yeah, let you do the murdering.
Yes. It's about time. I've been murdered. I've died about 10,000 times on screen. Let me kill somebody. Or
I've died once on screen, so that was fun. But actually, I don't know if he interacts with you on YouTube, but David was saying that that's his YouTube handle. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I know David. Hi, David.
There you go, David. And then Matt Fisher is pointing out how Tony has a lot of movies. He does. I don't know how many Matt Fisher movies he has, but he should probably have some.
Looks like our house.
Mine's all over on this wall. I have like all my action figures on this wall.
Yeah.
I'm 45. So
art. My husband mostly collects art. This is just the start. Over here, you can't see, but there's about 25 boxes filled with art. He likes a specific kind of art. What's it called? Comics with an X? Yeah, comics with an X. He likes comics with an X, or what is it? Lowbrow. He likes lowbrow art. And so do I. So he's like introducing me to this whole world. But another person that passed away that was going to do a poster for our film, and I have the drafts of the poster. I hope it's okay. Eventually I'll post them. His name was Enzo, E-N-Z-O. He was Italian. What's his last name? Bear with me. I think it was Sonati. Ciotti. I'm part Italian. I should know how to say this. But he passed away, and I was just like, damn it, we should have gotten that poster. But the cool thing is, so far he's still alive. The guy who does a lot of Iron Maiden or
Megadeth. The Megadeth. I was looking at the Indiegogo. The guy who does the Megadeth album covers.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
The Megadeth, not Iron Maiden. What the hell's wrong with me?
Yeah, Big Rattlehead.
I forgot about
Big
Rattlehead. I was thinking Eddie the Head.
Yeah.
I don't even know my own movie anymore. And I'm a metalhead, by the way.
Yeah.
That's all I listen to really is heavy metal. So
I actually listen to Megadeth whenever I do yard work. Like
Megadeth's probably my favorite. I have two favorite bands. One's Alice in Chains and the other is Megadeth. So that's pretty much what I love. So
yeah. So David's asking how your back is. I'm assuming you had a back injury of some sort.
No, I didn't have a back injury. I had a leg injury.
Oh.
I hurt my leg. It's a long story, but basically I tore the cartilage in my left hip. I still have a bunch of scars on my leg. Like, that's another thing we're going to have to figure out, either to put them in as in part of my character or, yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm going to be pretty beat up. So, yeah, it was my left hip, but I did have a neck problem too. I had like a herniated disc and, well, because I'm like a workout fanatic. You can't tell now because I look out of shape, but I've still got some muscle.
We were talking beforehand and like, whatever. You were like, oh, I want them to see that I can actually have a waist. I'm like, we don't have waist. So it's
see, I have a waist. It's here.
Yeah, she's got a waist. You don't want to see mine. It's all loose skin. But yeah, I mean the injuries stink. Like, and it takes forever to.
I was on crutches. I had to, it's not that I couldn't walk, but I had to walk with crutches for almost a month, and that was And then the lockdowns happened, and so I had to do my physical therapy from home, which took about 7 times longer to do than, because it's just that it's not the same. I mean, even going to the doctor is not the same. Like, you want the doctor. Sometimes it's convenient if you have like a cold or something, you don't want to go in and wait. But if you have a leg injury that needs to be, moved or maneuvered or something, he was telling my husband, he's like, okay, now move her leg this way, do it this way. And my husband was like, oh, do I have to do this? Because I'm like, well, I don't know. But now
Matt Fisher's saying wastes are overrated. I agree. Then Stephen Gray's saying that you're not out of shape. She's one of the sexiest women on the planet.
I just, I used to be like able to literally squat and jump over 3 feet in the air onto one of those things from a static position. So that's how in shape I used to be. And then I went from that to like walking on crutches. So it's probably because I was over exercising so much but anyway.
Getting older.
If I squat, I can't get up. So
they told me mine was a congenital. It was something I was born with, because I have like these bone spurs. They grow on they grew on my hip, and I have I'm really flexible. So the tendons are my tendons aren't as strong anyway. So the little bone spurs cut my cartilage. So they had to go in there and clean it all out and staple me back together and saw down my bone. And then it was painful, but
I can imagine. Yeah.
Well, now it definitely sounds like all that you're going to have to use those scars and everything for the movie, because it just sounds like it would be
embrace it.
It's kind of cool. Like I have a tattoo now, but it kind of messed my tattoo up a little, but not too bad, actually, surprisingly. It's like one of the smaller scars, but yeah, it's cool. Like, scars are cool. So
exactly. So I got a question with, casting and everything for the movie. Yeah. You said you've been in, a whole bunch of stuff. Did you, for the rest of the casting or any cameos or whatever, did you, reach out to people you worked with before, or was it all, new and upcoming people, or how did all that work?
Initially, it was people that we had worked with before, but their schedules just didn't work, and they, it didn't work out. They didn't really... They didn't seem, and I haven't talked to them in a long time, but they just didn't seem as into it as we were, but I don't blame them. I don't think they saw the vision the way we did. And I don't think I can't really talk about it, but this is going to be a very popular movie. I've gotten so many distribution offers from important people already. So it's like, okay, if you don't want to work in it, we'll find somebody else. So, we started with kind of people we knew, because we didn't think anybody was going to care. Honestly, I didn't think anything was going to happen. Neither of us did. That's why we thought, it'll be fun. We'll just do a little short thing really quick. It turned into a massive project. And I know people have kind of forgotten about it since, but I think once it comes out, it's going to be, my hope is that it sort of launches a franchise with, merchandise and appearances and,
hopefully all the horror conventions get back into play. So
they will. They will, and they already are inviting me. They're already asking me to be a guest, and I'm like, not yet. Let me finish the movie first. Let me have something to promote. And I'm very business minded, so I'm already thinking photo ops and because I've been to enough conventions that I know.
Yeah. So actually, one of Sergio's been asking to see the trailer. So this is the teaser trailer. Are you guys still doing
the teaser? Is not really. It's just that. It's just a low. We literally did that all by ourselves. Almost it was just me and actually my husband mostly did all the work. But that's not what the movie's going to look like at all. Right. The movie's going to look good. That doesn't look good.
This is from the Indiegogo, right?
Higher budget.
This is from the Indiegogo, or was it?
Yeah, this was just a playful teaser that has nothing to do with the film.
Yeah, but there isn't a regular trailer that's available, right? It's just the teaser right now.
When there is, it's going to major people that wants to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the big guys.
So are you cool
No
if we,
offense.
are you cool if we play the teaser trailer? Okay.
Play the teaser.
And are you still raising money for the movie?
People can go to Zombinatrix.com and it takes you right to the Indiegogo. So yeah, of course.
Nice.
I mean,
And all those links are in the description and everything as well. But here is the teaser trailer for Zombinatrix. Here you go.
It's not a teaser trailer. It's just
What is fetishism? The pleasure of pain, the worship of the whip, sexual problems of a masochist, how to buy a whipping, famous transvestites. Are cross-dressers afraid of sex?
give me a break.
These titles lead us to an even more bizarre, but nevertheless common product.
Do you crave the caress of cold, dead flesh? Do you need a little discipline in your life? Call me now. 1-900-HOT-DEAD.
Hi everyone, I'm Bianca Allaine and I'm the co-writer, producer, and star of Zombinatrix. Zombinatrix is a sleek, sexy, and highly stylized horror movie, co-written and directed by my husband, Michael Kyne. The story of Zombinatrix centers around beautiful Mistress Tawny, played by yours truly. She's brutally murdered by vicious thugs and rises from the dead to seek vengeance on her killers.
The film is really a passion project for both of us, and it's the type of character that I've really waited my entire career to play.
Our influences come from the horror cult films of the late 80s and early 90s.
We're also inspired by the music videos of that era, so there's lots of thrash, sleaze, and heavy metal throughout the film. Some influential movies include Return of the Living Dead, The Lost Boys, The Crow, Brain Damage, and Street Trash.
One of the most exciting things I think about our project is the visual effects and special effects team we have. We have Webster Colcord, who has worked on everything from Maleficent to Ted 1 and 2 and even Deadpool. We also have Ralph Cordero, who's worked on Paranorman, Coraline, and the cult classic Robot Holocaust. He's creating a really cool puppet for us, and Webster's actually going to animate it, so there will be really cool stop motion animation included in the film. Now, we filmed about 1/3 of Zombinatrix, but we still need your help. Movie making is expensive, so if you'd like to contribute to have this movie finished, we have some great perks for you. We're going to have t-shirts, DVDs, Blu-rays, enamel pins, posters, and my favorite, you might even get a chance to be in the film. You can buy a part in the movie, so if you want to be a zombie or get murdered by me as a dominatrix, it's really fun. So we could really use your help. And I know you work hard for your money, but if you can't contribute, you can always help by sharing. You can spread the word, you can tell all your friends, tell your family, spread it around on Facebook, any social media. Every little bit helps. So thank you so much for checking out our video and our project, and I hope you decide to contribute and be a part of Zombinatrix. All right, guys, thank you so much.
Johnny,
You're still afraid.
stop it now. I mean it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting.
There you go.
You're ignorant.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still, even though I know it's going to be like a different quality, I actually didn't mind the quality of that. It reminded me of, you said you're inspired by 80s and 90s. It reminded me of like late 80s, early 90s music video almost.
Good.
Like,
That's
like the
exactly
quality of
that.
it.
Okay, I'm like obsessed with probably. I don't know. My husband kind of is too. I can't speak for him, but I'm totally obsessed with 80s videos, like especially like 1987-ish on.
Yeah.
And I think Michael Bay directed a lot of those videos back then.
Really?
When I looked it up, which is really funny.
That's
But
weird.
you know that a lot of the rat videos and everything else, like they just had a cool look, and we just want to bring that sort of nostalgia back. Obviously, I'm a kid from the 80s, and he is too. We just want to bring everything we like, and we're, my husband and I both are bringing in a lot of the characters that he wrote. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but are people that he actually are inspired by people he knew and grew up with, like in the.
Are the people that he
era,
kills off? He kills off on it. He's just like, oh, this is a guy I hated in high school.
No. These were older. He called them older kids, but they were like 17, 18.
Yeah.
That, kind of. It's cool that I say this, right? Yeah, like, can I say about your mom and dad? Yeah, his mom gave birth to him pretty young. He's my little West Virginia boy, mountain man. But he grew up very poor, but all these, poorer than poor, like literally had no running water. It's like the Dolly Parton story. Like when people tell me they're poor, I'm like, no, you're not. My husband was poor, and he's made a huge, paved this huge career for himself all by himself, no help from his family. But his parents were really young when they had them, so they were like these little metalheads. And I think his mom is like a year younger than Axl Rose or something. So,
Can she still hit the high notes? Because he can't.
No, he can't, right?
No, not at all.
Everybody's like, he doesn't. That's Axl Rose?
Yeah.
What happened?
I didn't know Meatloaf was in Guns N' Roses. That's weird. No,
but anyway, after a while, it probably would blow your voice out, right? But anyway, he was around all these, thrashers, and it was kind of the same with me because my sister is a few years older than me. So in the 80s, before she became like super Christian and then into rap and everything, she was like, she had all the Iron Maiden shit up, and Skid Row and Guns N' Roses was a huge influence, of course. So I'm a kid, I'm looking at this, and I was trying to do the big bleached out blonde hair with the rooster comb and everything, and slashed up jeans and concert shirts. And, I was always fascinated by the kids that, I always thought they were the cooler kids, the older kids that all had the Iron Maiden shirts on. And, that's why I said, Eddie Head instead of Vic Rattlehead, because, Megadeth was big back then too.
Iron Maiden, there's people that like still consider them like the gods of metal.
Yeah, Big Four, come on, Anthrax.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, I have older sisters as well, and that's how I get into the music I get into. One sister was into like Deep Purple and like,
cool.
and like Bruce Springsteen, and I hate Bruce Springsteen, but my other sister was into like Anthrax and like
I love
Ozzy Osbourne, and even like bands like Scorpion and
I love the Scorpions.
Yeah, but I don't know. So it kind of helped me pave my way a little bit.
Does she like Anthrax? Because I prefer Anthrax with Belladonna. Does she?
It was original Anthrax, because I want to say the first thing I heard from them was the "I'm the Man" single.
Okay, cool.
So it was at around that time. So that Attack of the Killer Bees and stuff like that, like the good times. But
I saw them live kind of recently. I say recently, it was probably 6 or 7 years ago. They were here, and Belladonna sounded great.
Yeah.
He still sounded good.
They released an album a few years back that was awesome. Like, it was really good.
So did Megadeth, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, what do you think, now that totally off topic of your movie, but there's a rumor going around that Michael Anthony from Van Halen is going to be replacing Dave Ellefson in Megadeth as the new bass player, because Dave Ellefson's gone.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's their band, their choice. That's what I
Right,
say
but
about
it's just
everything.
like he doesn't seem like a fit to me. Like he's, I don't know. His
Well,
roller jeans
people
and
were
his,
mad when Axl joined AC/DC, but I thought he did okay. You know, but that might just be because I like Axl's, you know, I like his swagger.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. You never know until you try. Sometimes it sounds like an odd choice, but you gotta just see.
Yeah,
it.
I mean, if anything, it'll make me
then it's
respect
his
him.
band. I mean, remember I said Alice in Chains is one of my favorite bands, and you know everybody freaked after they replaced Lane. So it's like, you know, I mean they didn't replace Lane, but they had to. But
is it blasphemous that I've never been a fan of Alice in Chains? No. But I've seen him twice. Like,
did you see him with Lane or did you see him with Will?
I did. Saw him twice with Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him open for Van Halen, and then I saw
I remember
them.
that tour. I was really young, but I remember that.
Yeah, and then I saw him Lollapalooza in '94, I think, or '92.
Yeah, that would have been the time. I was too young to go see those shows, but yeah, I know. I mean, they didn't really tour much after he got sick. He was really sick, but no, it's not. I don't care.
Okay.
I can be friends with anybody. I don't give a shit if people are like, I don't like that band. I'm like, okay.
Well, this was back in the day too. Back in the '90s, people were like, you know, you're obsessed with a band. So it's like, if you don't like the band that I like, you're a piece of garbage. Get away from me. Like, you know,
they're like that with movies too, though. You know that?
Totally, 100%.
Well, it hasn't changed much since then. Now I think it's even worse.
So dumb. I'm like,
now it's even
or what? I mean,
now it's like, oh man, I can't believe it. You don't know what you're talking about if you don't like this movie or this. It's like everybody has different tastes and stuff.
Exactly.
But I like to bring it. You were saying, you know, how you got to try stuff. I want to wrap it back to the movie because you were saying in the beginning, because it was like, you know, you tried and asked some people and they might not have seen your vision. Sometimes you just got to go for it. Sometimes, especially
that's what we're doing. And we also have like now we have a tighter like working schedule. You know what I mean? We have it. My husband is the best at planning. I mean, I've never met anyone in my entire life who can plan the way he does. Every specific detail. I mean, he doesn't forget anything. Like I'm looking at notes right now, like across from me that are all lined up and everything. He's got the script, and once it's time, we're going back to your other question. We're going to go with probably unknowns, just the best actor for the job.
Yeah.
Because before we were, you know, just I don't know. I don't even know if there are going to be any cameos. Honestly, I don't know if this movie needs a cameo. I mean, that's up to my husband. We already shot 99% of the people that paid to be in the film. We did that on like right before Christmas, I think.
And now, is that still a perk that's available? Because I saw you can be a cameo for like
$100,
right? Something like that.
But I mean, you only have a certain time. Like it really depends, and we have to decide what you're going to be and what you're going to do. We learned that lesson because everybody was like emailing me. Does that mean that Bianca's going to come and kill me? And I was like, no.
It means you're going to be walking in the background. Just waving.
Pretty much. I mean, there are some people that paid a lot to get bigger parts, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that.
Right.
I don't want to give away too much of the movie because there's a very specific plot. It's not just like me running around like a maniac and just killing random people.
Right. There's a story. There's a reason.
Driven.
Yeah. So Sergio asks all the time, so we figured we'd get it out of the way. He's asking, what is your favorite horror movie of all time? I know it's tough.
Asking that.
It's tough. It all depends on subgenre. It depends on like it changes throughout the year, even, you know, like, but do you like it? So, you know, if you've been asked that question before, what are some of the answers you've given? Maybe.
The Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Evil Dead. I mean, and then a lot of obscure stuff that people probably have never heard of.
Right.
Anything that Riff Trax does. I don't know if you guys are fans of Riff Trax, but
yeah. It's basically like Mystery Science Theater, right?
It is. But it's the funniest guys from Mystery Science Theater.
Yep.
And I say that with no offense to Joel, but
it was Bro and Tom Servo, the guys who did the voices of those guys, right?
Yeah, it's Bill Corbett, Michael J. Nelson, and Kevin. Oh my God, what's his last name? Murphy. That's my husband's favorite. He's like, Murphy.
Yeah.
Murphy.
Riff Tracks is a good time, and it's you can find
I
it.
have an entire channel now that I just
totally
watch on loop just because it's not the news.
Yeah, I hear you. I avoid the news like the plague as well. So Stephen is asking, what rating are you going for? Are you even going for a rating?
We're not going for a rating.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a director's cut that's just available for basically for the people that pre-order it. That's the special cut that only is available to people that donated, and it comes with like a foldable poster and the jacket part. It has two sides so you can flip.
Oh, nice.
And that's just going to be Michael's vision, and then I'm sure there'll be several cuts of the film, you know, whatever they can play on TV, and then whatever the big guys decide they want to have streaming will be up to them.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have to talk to a lot of lawyers all the time to make sure that we don't get fucked over, basically.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we've heard a lot of horror stories. A lot of horror stories.
It's more important to me to keep the vision intact rather than go through, like, all these people are like so excited, like, I'm in Walmart. And I'm like, well, you paid to get into Walmart and you're making like a penny for every 1,000 DVDs that you sell. You didn't get a good business deal, dude.
But then it's also, we've talked to many people where you saying you want to see your vision on there, and people don't. I mean, I think true fans understand it, but I don't think everybody understands it. Right. That a lot of the times these movies that are put out by these, you know, bigger companies or whatever, that's not the original vision. They're like, oh, this movie sucks. And it's like, well, do you realize how much it was? I mean, we've had people that, you know, have worked, you know, with bigger companies, or people that, you know, came from grassroots and doing it themselves. And it's different because, you know, you see original visions, but then these bigger companies, it's like, we need this, we need that, we need so much time of this, and people don't understand. It's like, that's why it's everything's so cookie cutters, because they think, all these big wigs think they know what people want to see, and they have no idea.
They don't really listen to the fans. We listen to the fans. That's where people make a lot of mistakes, and I'm going to tell you that. I mean, never mind. I'm not going to give anyone advice. I'm the last person to give anyone advice. But the thing with me is, I don't want to be the next somebody. I want to be the first. You know, I want to be the first. I'm going to be the innovator. I'm not going to follow in someone else's footsteps. I'm not going to say, hey, well, that person did A, B, C, D, and look, it worked. That's not how it works. That's not what people like. What really changes art and the world in general are the people that take really big risks and are innovators, and who go against the grain, that have been told a million times that's never going to work, because we've been told a lot, especially when we started, there's no way in hell that your movie is going to work. And then we have been told just the opposite by people in, you know, I have a lot of friends in the business, and they're like, holy shit, you need to trademark this right now because this is like gold. You're sitting on a gold mine. And that's another reason why we've taken so long to make this film, because I'm not going to make a piece of shit film just to turn it out over the weekend so that everybody forgets what it is tomorrow. That's not my style.
Yeah, this is your brand. You want it. This is something you want to be proud of.
Yeah, if I die tomorrow, which is very possible with the way the world's going, I want to know that, look, hey, I did something cool that I wanted to do, that other people weren't telling me, this is what you have to do, this and you have to do that. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't do any fucking thing you say. I can do exactly what I want. And we're living in a time artistically that you can do exactly what you want. And if people want to fucking cancel me, cancel me. I probably wouldn't like you anyway. So.
Actually, real quick, one of our guys who's on panel like every other week, he has a question. It has to do with one of your older movies. So he's asking, can you talk a little bit about the experience that had making Die Delta Pi?
That was the worst filming experience I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, those guys are dicks, and I don't like them at all. And I'm fine with saying that. Okay. I've never watched the movie. And
well, I actually... I have it in my collection.
Well, no one's asked me to sign it, but if they bring it to an event and sign it, I'll be like, only if you buy, something else.
Zombinatrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get a T-shirt. Yeah.
Those guys are fucking jerks. They are, and they're creeps. They're perverts. They're jerks, and they treat the people they work with absolute disrespect. And I had a really big Christian Bale moment on that set for a reason.
Oh wow.
So it's trash. If you want to go see an older movie I've done, watch Albino Farm. It's better. It's got Chris Jericho and stuff.
Oh yeah. I was looking at the IMDb. So that's now there's actually the guy who did the makeup effects in Die Die Delta Pi. I'm a fan of. So hopefully he was cool. But
that dude, I mean not Dory, that dude that's got the stripes on his arms or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, he's the one that almost set us all on fire, so he's not my favorite person.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
He
almost set the entire fucking cast of these kids and myself included on fire. So yeah, I'm not a real big fan of his because he didn't seem like, maybe he's gotten better over the years, but
it's no good.
Well, that's why you hear all these like crazy.
It's not bad memory. Look, guys, it's not bad memories. I'm just telling you the truth. You ask me a question, I'll tell you I'm a shit shooter. I don't give a shit. I'll just tell you this is what happened.
Now, is that what kind of brought you to making your own stuff? After I'm sure you've had many good, behind the scenes stuff, and then you get some times where we've heard it where you expect one thing, you go on set and it's completely different. So is that what kind of draw you? It's like, okay, I've done you said you've done everything before, but is that another reason where you're like, I've dealt with too many different kind of people. Let's do our own kind of deal.
Yep. That's exactly 100%. Plus we were like, everybody else is doing this stuff. We can do it. And we can do it. I don't want to say better because there's no such thing as better or worse, but we have enough experience that we can bring our own vision. And 99% of this, I'm going to say, is my husband's vision. It is. It's true. He's much more artistic than I am. Now, see, I'm more of like the business oriented type of person because I know I sound harsh and I don't mean to come across that way.
You don't sound
but
harsh.
I think when you've been in this business for so long, you have to get tough. It's show business, not show friendship. So you kind of have to I just got to the point where I'm just like, I can do all this myself.
Right.
I mean, I can hire people that I trust, that I like their artistic vision, that I think, because I'm an actor, I'm not saying I'm not even going to say actor, fuck that. I'm an actress. So if I can see when I don't think someone's doing a very good job acting. And that's kind of the problem right now, is because you were asking about actors and actresses that we're going to work with. It's hard because we're not in LA, we're not in New York, we're not in Georgia. So a lot of people are saying, we'll fly out, to work on your movie, for free. I've gotten hundreds of people saying that, but it's sort of like, I can't take that risk because time is money, time is everything. And if you're playing a character that has to be here for a certain amount of time, and you're an integral person and character in this film, and you're not here, we're screwed.
That's we've heard stories of losing people.
Show up.
Yeah, mid taping, and then they had to switch their characters and retape and whatever. We've heard, and especially like indie films, when you're you have such a limited budget or whatever. That's the other thing. How many times have we had people on here that are doing it themselves and getting money out of their own, and it's like, okay, well, the movie might not look great, but it's like, you don't realize what goes on behind the scenes of any given situation. And it's like, and we've said it, and Kevin said it many a times, it's like, people rip on certain movies, and it's like, I can't, because I've never made a movie. I've never had to.
That. I really appreciate how much empathy, because it does take a lot of work. And I don't rip on any movies either, honestly. I might rip on the person who
Right.
who
I always try to
killed
find
everybody on set.
something.
But,
Something could be very boring, but at the same time too, I'll find something good about it because it's at the end of the day, it is art.
Actually, to me, the worst thing a movie can be is boring
or
shot. I mean, because if it doesn't hold your interest at all, then I mean, I'd rather go through Pinterest or something. It's just I give automatically, like, if we're going on a score of 10, I'll give anybody who actually finishes a movie 5 stars automatically just for finishing
I hear
it
and
not committing suicide or murder.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. It is not. I mean, it's not the hardest job in the world, but no matter how much you plan, something's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
It always goes wrong. And I've even worked for the studios, like, on a lot of television projects, in front of the camera and behind the scenes, and still stuff goes wrong. And they have like $1 million budgets. And it's like, there's always going to be something that goes wrong. And it's just the way you have to have a very solid plan, but at the same time, you have to be very adaptable because something will and does go wrong all the time. And that's the stressful part about it.
Yeah. I think one of the craziest things that we've heard is was it for 420 Massacre, Tony? Where he'd completely like done a full, like, the movie was edited and done and it was on a hard drive. Someone broke into the house and stole the hard drive along with
my God.
He had to re-edit the whole movie. But he's like, it came out better the second time, I'll be honest with you. But he had to go through and redo the whole thing. Like, it was all, he still had all the footage and everything.
Yeah.
But that's horrible. I can't even imagine.
And with the pandemic right now, it's like, look, I did art. I mean, at first we didn't film because we were following all the rules. I'm vaccinated and everything else.
Are any of your films available that you want people to see, or any of them available?
I don't care. You can watch any movie you want. I don't care. Those people made the movie. I mean, I appreciate your support. I will tell you, Albino Farm, I have copies of, but not very many, and they go for like $200 on
really?
eBay. Yeah,
it's
a rarity. And to be honest, I did all the PR basically for that film, aside from going on Howard Stern, which I think Jericho and the director did or something. But I feel like they kind of dropped the ball in that situation. So that's how I started to learn how to do my own PR and everything. I like to do stuff myself because I mean, at some point I'll get to the point where I trust other people, but I don't, as you can tell, I don't trust other people with my work and my images anymore because I've just been screwed over so many times. And, I'm going to be 42 in like 2 days. So I was just like, I'm not going to deal with this stuff anymore. I'm not a little kid. I know the business. You can't talk to me, that way because I'm a girl or a woman or whatever, I'm not stupid. Come on. Like, it's funny. I don't know.
It's kind of gross that even happens though. Like, it's like and
it does happen a lot.
Yeah, and that's just
people have to they sit there and they start mansplaining things to me, and I'm like, cool story, bro. I already knew that.
Yeah, should have told me that 10 years ago before I
exactly.
did it.
Thanks. I learned that about 15 years ago when I was on the NBC set. So.
Now, going back, you were talking about your husband does a lot of stuff and talking about the artistic. I think the thing that drew me into it was the cover art for it. Cool. As you could tell, I'm, a huge physical media collector. Yeah. And that was the one thing that caught like we talk about, back in the day going into like Blockbuster and just looking at cover arts. I think that would catch a lot of people's eyes for sure because it brings so many different. I was thinking of like Return of the Living Dead and stuff, but like new age kind of deal. So props to him for that cover art because it definitely caught my eyes.
I will tell him that. I'm sure he heard, but he's so cool. Like with his visions, the painting was made from he did my zombie makeup and everything. So we have like physical photographs of of that, and I'll probably release them when I do the blog or whatever for, we just did a green screen, and then he talked to an artist, and he was extremely specific about what he wanted. Like, he basically could have done, he could have done it himself. That's how much he wanted certain things. But I was really specific about wanting the red lipstick because I thought that, zombies, they always have like that gross mouth and everything. And like, this zombie needs to be sexy. I don't know if you could really tell in the short that we were doing, but I was using a finger. It was my idea to come up with like, let me take a dead finger and we'll dip it.
Oh, you realize that that's what it was. That's
cool. And then I just put it on his lipstick. Unfortunately, I did my own makeup for that. And I'm not a makeup artist, so something funny for your listeners and fans. The reason it's so dark, like right here in the zombie makeup, is because everything else was cream makeup, and I'm not a makeup artist whatsoever. I can't even do my own makeup, if you can see. But I did like an eyeshadow, and I thought that I could blend that, but then it kept getting messed up, and I think I had the prosthetic pieces on too, so it was just like, oh no, I messed up all the blending on the prosthetic pieces. And I think I was wearing prosthetics. I can't remember in that shoot. I've done things so many times I can't remember when I have the prosthetic pieces on under my eyes and when I don't. And there's also the big prosthetic that goes from here all the way to here of the Y incision. Well, when we did the casting for that, my husband had to do a casting on my chest. So I laid down, and I'm, bustier. So, but they're natural. So they didn't just stand up.
Right.
I didn't think about that. So we took the thing and we tried to put it on while I was laying down. And then I stand up, and then I have breasts. So it's like crinkled everywhere, and it crinkled every time I moved my arms and my shoulders. So we're going to have to come up with, my idea is, instead of it being like one giant piece, like maybe we'll cut into smaller pieces, so it's more flexible, because in the film, I have a lot of action scenes. That's another reason I'm working out all the time. Like, this is not just a horror movie, but this is like somebody who kicks ass and
nice.
who is strong. And I'm not as skinny as I used to be, but that might work out better because it might be more believable, for me to be a, more formidable type of foe. You know what I mean? So,
I think it's funny that you keep like saying like, well, I'm not as good a shape as I used to. I'm like, you need to simmer down. Like, you're fine. Don't worry about it. And it's, I don't know. I just think it's funny. I mean, it's the whole body.
It's sweet. I'm just a perfectionist is the problem. Right. Like I'm everything has to be perfect. Like, I want the scene to be perfect. I want the outfits to be perfect. I want everyone's acting to be perfect, and it's not going to happen. So I do need to let that go, because otherwise, and my husband's the same way with perfectionism, not with me so much. He doesn't care. He's just like, you look great. I love you no matter what. He likes my feet anyway, so it doesn't matter what I look like. but man, he's really cool, like, because he knows so much about like all these crazy like fetishes and stuff, like things that I thought I knew a lot about, S&M and fetishes and all that kind of thing. But he knows stuff that I had never heard of. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's interesting. How can we incorporate that into
There's some stuff I'm sure you don't want to incorporate.
No,
but,
nothing like no scat or people want to see that stuff. No, I'm not into like.
Go somewhere else. No, but that's the thing is, like, when I started dating my now wife, like I would just try to gross out her friends just by dropping knowledge. Like, you know what this is? You know what this is, kind of deal. And it's just like, you're disgusting. Like, I don't like it. I just know what it is.
Yeah.
But
there's not going to be anything like that. So sorry, folks. If that's what you're looking for. Go
if you want distribution, you're not going to be able to get it if you have that kind of stuff. But
it's nothing like completely like groundbreaking or anything. But
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Early on donate. Yeah, we're still using Indiegogo. Indiegogo actually approached us during our campaign. And they asked us if we wanted to take part in their new. That's when they started a new, like, extended campaign thing. Mm-hmm. Now they have it for a lot of sites, but we were one of the first people they approached about it, because we had gotten so much attention on Kickstarter
right?
so fast.
Yeah.
And we raised our goal so fast. We should have aimed for a higher goal. You know, we probably could have reached it. But yeah, I mean, the Indiegogo site, you can just still donate anytime.
Nice.
We'd greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, I was checking it out. I was like, oh, it's, you know, because it looks like it was started a while ago, but it looks like there's still some perks that were available. I was like, oh,
there's tons. I mean, we can't really send you a movie yet because
right, it's not done.
It's not finished. But if you want to support the film and help us get it finished faster, that's always welcome. You know.
Yeah.
I was doing a cameo for a while, but I started getting too many requests for that as well because. And I only say this, not that I wasn't grateful. It was just, it's a lot of, I don't think people knew how much work it was to put that makeup on, especially myself, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a special effects artist. My husband can do it, but I can't ask him every day, like, hey, I got another request. Can you like put a bunch of makeup on me?
I got to do a 3-minute video.
You know, like, hey, tomorrow's my husband's birthday. Can you make this cameo for me? And I'm just like, you got to give me, I'll change it up or something. I'm like, if you can give me, a week or something, I could maybe once a week, I'll do 2 or 3 or 4 of them. But I mean, yeah,
but it's good. I mean, stuff like that. It's good because you're helping raise money for the project.
Oh yeah. Everything.
We're actually just about done.
Sorry, I talk a lot. So.
That's okay. No, that's what we like. We don't want people just sitting there and be like, we've had that before too, where people just don't.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I feel like I've taken over your whole show. I'm sorry.
That's completely fine.
And that's what we expect too.
Yeah, it's what we like.
We want the guests to take over the show.
Yeah.
We're just the background noise to what we have you guys on to help promote.
Oh.
So we'd rather have you guys talk than us. I mean, they see us every week. They see, the guest.
Unfortunately for them, they see us every week. But so where can people go to follow like the progress of the movie and the website to go to the support the project? Where can they go?
Well, you can find us on Facebook as Zombinatrix, but unfortunately, I think a lot of people have ditched Facebook. So we would love you to follow us there. I mean, at one point we had about 31,000 people already that were following us, but then everybody jumped ship from Facebook. You can go to Zombinatrix.com, which is Zombinatrix. And let me say this. Thank you for getting the name right, because most people call it Zombie Matrix, and I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
It's like zombies, like doing the whole bullet thing. Like,
yeah, I'm like... Can't you see in the poster I'm a dominatrix? Like zombie matrix. It's a play on words, but they'll get it eventually. Sometimes I think it's just autocorrect or something.
Yeah.
But I have heard people say zombie matrix. Oh, a funny story. I ran into someone, when I was going to physical therapy. I ran into somebody wearing one of our shirts, and I was just like, "That's my movie. That's me." I got a shirt.
That's awesome.
So it was pretty cool. I was like, wow, just right down the road, people are wearing the shirt.
That's awesome. No, that's cool.
And it was a girl, so that made me really happy.
Even cool. Yeah.
Which I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Now the dudes are into this. Girls like too. And also the other website you can go to is videovamp.net. That's got a lot of information. I'm about to redo the entire thing because I'm just going to make it more of like a, regular website with, blog information and everything. Like you said, the Kickstarter isn't available anymore, but Indiegogo, which Zombinatrix.com will take you right to it, I believe, is still up and running. So, I mean, you can go, I'll probably post this, when it comes back, and I'll post it on the page. And I think I covered everything. I had an Instagram account. I don't have it anymore. It was hacked. I had a Twitter. I just stopped using it because I don't
like Twitter either.
Yeah, I don't like Twitter.
It's dumb.
But yeah,
too much work.
Say videovamp.net, and for the movie especially Zombinatrix.com.
Yeah, and I was poking around there. You can definitely get to the Kickstarter for that. I think if you just do the drop down and click on Zombinatrix, it brings you right to it.
Now you've given me an assignment. I need to, actually finish the website now.
Well, either way, we definitely wish you luck with everything, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes smoothly.
Oh, your fingers
Coming in
crossed.
October and November. Yeah, I'm crossing everything I can.
Fingers, toes, eyes.
I don't know, my arms. I don't know. That's so. Anyways, so thank you very much for coming on. So Tony,
Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I hope I didn't stray too much. Maybe if
we strayed a lot too. So,
well, it's fine. I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe you can have me back on the show.
Oh, totally.
Sure.
You know, update you on the actual movie instead of just talking the whole time about heavy metal and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever you want, just let us know and we'll get it figured out. Cool.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, Tony, real quick, where can people find you?
You can find me at Tony Has 9 Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews or unboxings or anything like that. Tony Has 9 Fingers on TikTok, where I do reviews and such. And Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. And, of course, here on The Wicked Horror Show every Tuesday night. Kevin?
Knuckle on Instagram. Also doing these shows every Tuesday, doing reviews with the 13th Wolfman. Also part of Black and White Fright and Secret Underground Hideout, all of which are on the Dorkening Podcast Network. Go to thedorkening.com for more information on that. Thanks for listening and good luck with the movie. And keep us posted.
And hey, if you ever want me on any other review sites and stuff, I watch movies all the time, so we can talk movie. That's my favorite thing.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you guys.
Have a good night, everyone.
For having me on.
Bye.